Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lightworkers. Today we have a new episode and we're talking with Payal, who is a tarot card reader and a healer, and we'll know more about her journey. And let's start. So, Payal, why don't you introduce yourself, what you do, how you got into the healing world, and just let everybody know more about you.
Hey, thank you so much. Firstly, Anisha, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, to be on the Lightworkers podcast. I was just going through your podcast the other day when you sent me the invitation, and then I was just seeing some of your previous podcasts. And I'm like, it's such a delight to be invited for a podcast to speak over here.
My
So thank
pleasure.
you so much to have me over here. Yeah. So what I do, so I am a tarot reader, a visual artist, and I'm also a Dharma coach. That is, I help people align with their highest truth, align with their authentic self, and help them embark on their dharmic journey, that is finding their soul's purpose. Why are they here on planet Earth? What's their mission? And how can they create a global impact to help raise the consciousness of our planet Earth, or the universe in collective?
Mm-hmm.
That is what I do. And it all began. So I have been coaching since 4 years now, and it all actually began when in 2020 I got my biggest spiritual awakening. So ever since I was a kid, I was always very spiritual, but it was very much in bits and pieces. Like there was never a flow. And I had no knowledge about spirituality at that time because no one around me in my family or
Mm-hmm.
my friend circle was spiritual. Like I was so little. But I think it just stayed somewhere within me. And also there was a bit of shame attached to it because
Yeah.
I felt out of the box. I felt like I was like an outcast. I felt like what I believed in and thought was not relatable to me, to
Mm-hmm.
anybody else. So I kind of kept it hidden for a very long time. And I think when 2020 Corona hit and everybody was locked inside their rooms, and I had this biggest spiritual awakening of my life, and then I felt like that is when my path descended towards going into healing, going into diving more into spirituality. And that's when I found tarot. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like everything just happened. Like God just sent me all this stuff my way. And yeah, this is what I do now. I help people come closer to their highest truth. I help people become more authentic in their life, become more creative because I'm also a visual artist. So I am an artist person and everything else. So one of my biggest work and my biggest mission is to help every person realize, each and every individual on planet Earth, that every person is creative. It's not
Mm-hmm.
limited to the kind of creativity that we see out in the world. So for me, when I was little, I used to think that being to be an artist, you have to be an amazing painter, amazing musician, but that's not true. Like we are all creative in our own zone of genius. It's just that
Yeah.
we haven't tapped into that part of ourselves yet. So
Mm-hmm.
that is something I hold so close to my heart, and I really want people to explore their creative side because for me, art and healing go hand in hand. Like that is your indigenous part, like that is your intrinsic part, that is your truest self, and that self does not need anybody else's permission. You don't
Wow.
need any organization's permission to practice your art, to practice your medicine. This is a gift that you're born with, and I am so
Mm.
so so driven to help people explore and tap into that gift and make that gift a part of their life. So yeah, that is
Mm.
what I do.
Perfect. Wow. Like there are so many nuances to, what you do. But like since you said you are a visual artist, and then of course one of the things where you talked about creativity, art, and spirituality and healing. So if everybody has that in essence, how do you if somebody wants to know how they can realize that, creativity within, so how what would you, what would your suggestion be, or how would you guide them there?
Okay, so to actually understand, your creative side, you always have to go back to your childhood. Because
Mm.
when we are born as children, like when we are born, we are closest to the source. Every child is closest to the source, and we are a raw, clean slate. Like we are untouched. Like we are not corrupted
Mm.
yet. We have not been touched by, anybody's conditioning. No adult consciousness has touched us. Like even when we're in the womb or wherever we have come from. Like we are so close to the source. And I really believe that every child is a big opportunity. Every child. So I always say this that there are no problem children, there are only problem parents and problem teachers. Yeah, like
Mm.
every child is born with so much of creativity, so much of intellect. And that intellect is actually out of our capacity to understand what they are saying, what they are thinking. Like children, they can just they create these imaginary worlds in their heads and stuff like that. It's
Mm.
really very vivid. So in
Mm.
my work, the part is to go back to your childhood, and that is also what we do in Dharmic journey. We go back, we trace back like what happened in our childhood, how we used to be, what mediums flow naturally to you. Like for me, and this is something that you must be like every person is a bit aware of what mediums flow naturally to them. Like for me, speaking flows naturally to me, writing is a very natural thing to me, creating art is a very natural thing to me. For some people, it's photography. For some people, it's channeling,
Mm.
having downloads. Yeah. Like for some people, like for you, it's podcast. Like we all have our own tools. So we
Yeah.
all have these tools and these mediums through which we express ourselves. So your job is to just find like how can you express yourself more and what you're here to create. What you're here to create, what
Mm.
you're here to create, whatever gift you have, it has a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. Some people have direct purpose, like therapy and coaching. It's like a direct job that we are doing, but
Right.
indirect way of fulfilling your purpose would be if somebody is an artist, a graphic designer, their job is to just bring beauty into the world. And we need that. We need to see beauty in
Mm.
our world. We need to, feel the beauty, see the beauty. So not every purpose is, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, such a big thing. Some serious shit. Like purpose can be really very smooth and easy and fun going. All your
Yeah.
gifts, they don't need to be, something like big work. They can just be simple,
And who,
having fun.
yeah, and who is to say which gift is bigger or smaller? Like, why are
Yeah,
we
like
even judging? Yeah. Mm.
yeah, like every gift is just a gift. Like, there are people who are just born with the gift of numerics, like maths. They have these
Yeah.
amazing cognitive brain, thinking brain that, like, that can just do maths. Like, and what is the use of those numbers? Like you go out into the world, academic world, and you do it. But apart from that, that is a talent and a gift on its own.
Yeah.
So nothing is limited to the academics.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
everything is out
Yeah.
of it. Like the gifts that we have, they don't need to really have a use in this world. But the more we learn about our gifts, the more
Mm-hmm.
we allow ourselves to channel that. And when we channel that, we find our own path. Like, how can my gift help the world?
Yeah. And that was my next question. So, if you do have a gift, inevitably that does help. I mean, that does end up helping other people, right? Whatever the
Yes,
gift is that a person realizes.
yes.
Yeah.
If you have tapped into your gift, then yes. If you have, so what happens is that your gift can be anything. Like it could be on this 3D plane, like I said, creating art, music, or it could be in the spiritual plane, that is being
Mm.
able to talk to spirits,
Mm.
being a shaman, being an animal healer. Now,
Mm.
some people who are very scared to see themselves, see their truth, are generally the ones who do not have the courage to see the power of their gift. Like their gift is so powerful.
Mm.
For example,
Right.
I know a friend who has the ability to talk to spirits and be within spirits. But that gift is so powerful. It has so much potential that she is afraid of the dark like anything for no reason.
Yeah.
She cannot
Mm.
be in the dark in her own house, but she has the gift
Mm.
of doing that. Another friend of mine who has who is shit scared of animals, shit scared of animals. But
Mm.
actually, in her ancestor, her great grandfather is an animal shaman. He's an animal
Wow.
healer. Like he used to get dreams
Mm.
where there's this, I don't remember the name of the plant exactly,
Mm.
but he used to get dreams of this one particular plant, and the plant used to tell that person, that shaman, that what do you need to do, what do you need to mix, what kind of potion you have to make to heal this particular animal. So he was not a certified
Mm.
doctor. He was not a nutritionist, any kind of thing, like nothing board certified. He just had this indigenous gift because he was connected to the source. maybe he was the chosen one,
Right.
and she's a descendant of that person, and she's scared of animals. So you can just
Hmm.
see the contradiction over
Yeah.
here. Like she also has the gift within her, but she's so scared. Like sometimes we're so scared of our own gifts, we cannot see them in the eye. So when we
Mm.
have not tapped into our gifts, so we could actually say that people die without living their and knowing their gifts, and then without knowing their purpose. And
For
I feel
sure.
like being able to know your purpose is the biggest gift you can give to yourself. Living in your purpose, living in
Mm.
your dharma, having the courage to follow your heart, to follow your calling, is the biggest thing that you can do for your own self.
Mm. Powerful, very powerful. Um, just moving on from the gifts that you're talking about, I just want to know what or how important faith has been for you, growing up or generally in your life. Like, what is the role that it plays in your life?
Hmm. I think
Like God or the
faith
higher power. Hmm.
I think faith does has a lot of role in my life now. Higher power, like it's a very personal thing. It's a very personal topic for everyone. For me, I think growing up, so I am a Bengali, and growing up, like I'm a Bengali from, and I'm a Hindu, and growing up, we had always worshipped gods, and like my family, like we worship Durga Ma, we worship Kali Ma, like goddesses, Saraswati, Lakshmi, like we used to have all these pujas and everything. But I never really connected with them, with God. Like I was asked to pray, to worship them, but then I never knew the why. So I
Right.
would say that growing up, I did not have any connection with God, and there was also a time when I was kind of an atheist for a very long time because it just did not sit with me. Like, why? What is the purpose of God? But I always knew that there was a higher power, which I didn't want to call God, but more like universe's power. Like there's some consciousness through which everything is happening.
Hmm.
And I feel like believing in that consciousness, just believing that there is somebody bigger than me who supports me, whom I can lean on, that is faith for me. Knowing that I am
Hmm.
not alone, that is faith for me. Like, and that faith just grew over time, and now I do believe in God. And then that faith took different phases and manifestations. So in my journey, in my experience, what I have learned is that all the gods that we worship, they are all manifestation of different qualities. For example, if you had to gain knowledge and if you wanted to be knowledgeable, then Saraswati is the manifestation of the quality knowledge. And when you worship Saraswati, you are saying that I am at the mercy of knowledge. I'm at your mercy. And when I worship Saraswati, I basically am worshipping knowledge. And in the
Hmm.
same way, when you are worshipping Lakshmi, it's basically saying I'm worshipping abundance, I'm worshipping money. Like I am honoring your existence. And because we are
Right.
humans, and it makes us easy for our brain to make things relatable to us. Like I would feel more relatable to talk to God because he has
Mm-hmm.
a human face, which is very familiar to my brain, than universe because I don't know how universe is an abstract. I don't know how it looks like. So for me, when I say God, I give him a face, I give him hair, I give him eyes, and that becomes, very familiar to me. And then
Yeah.
I then find more qualities, like what kind of qualities I want in my God. Then I want my God to be fierce. I want my God to be strong. I want my God to have masculine pillars, and I want my God to, hold masculine pillars for me. Um, I want him to support me in my spiritual journey. And then maybe I find somebody who is like Shiva, Lord Shiva, or maybe I want a God that is gentle, just like a friend,
Hmm.
and always supporting, super pure consciousness. And then maybe I'm looking towards Krishna. So,
Hmm.
and maybe any other God, like, so faith. And I feel like more than the universe of the God, I have always had more faith in nature. Like always felt like nature is the first God. Like ever since we were born on Earth, like when I came on Earth, any other person came on Earth, like Earth is our first home. And if
Hmm.
we have water flowing, we have these magnificent mountains, we have birds and nature, like trees and rocks, crystals. open sky. Like, I mean, if this is not God, then what is God? So I feel like I have always also found nature to be God. And yeah, I feel like my faith has always been over here and there, but sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
difficult to have faith when things are not going in your favor.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is
Yeah.
when faith actually tests you. Like, do you really have faith
Yeah.
in me because you are liking what I'm giving you? Or you still have faith in me when things don't go your way? So I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is what faith, that is how faith plays with you.
And Payal I mean, have you been able to restore faith after such instances? Because obviously we all go through ups and downs. And like, has how important was faith for you when you did see a low in your life? And then how were you able to bring it up?
So when I saw the biggest low in my life was when I was 15, and that is when I actually got out of a very, very, very bad phase. Like, that is the worst phase of my life. Like, when I was a teenager, I feel like what I saw as a teen, now whatever comes my way, I can just handle it. But when I came out of that, and I was so clueless, and I was so shaken, and I was so traumatized, and I used to have panic attacks, I used to have PTSD. And the way faith was restored in me, or maybe it was born within me,
Mm,
was when I could see myself for who I am. Because I realized faith begins with first restoring faith in yourself, like believing
mm,
in yourself. That is where it begins from.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like that kind of laid a foundation for me. And
Right.
post that, I did not have to struggle so much with faith. But I feel like last year also I had this one phase. Last year, 2023 was also a very, very tough year for me. Very tough year for me, health wise, relationship wise, career wise. It was like very shaky for me. And I feel like that all the outside, like whatever was happening in my world and environment, it just shook my core. That is
Mm-hmm.
when I had lost faith. And I feel like the restoration came when I could calm down my nervous system again, because my nervous system had become so active, so out of place. And that is
Mm-hmm.
what the thing is. Like, I feel like you really need to have a very strong, you must have done a lot of strong nervous system work to create very strong foundations. Because um, if your nervous system is flighty, like faith actually goes out of the window. And that's why so many people struggle with it. You need a sense of security to, have to be able to cling onto something like faith and believe. Like, a lot of my friends, like whom I talk to when we are just chatting, and they're like, but Payal, like, how do I believe? Like, everybody says, believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself. How do I, do that? How do I do that? And like, and I've seen a pattern that it happens with those who have very flighty nervous systems. So I feel
Mm,
like spirit and science, your spirit and your biological body and spirit, they always
mm-hmm.
work together. And faith gets restored when it's within you, like it works from you. Like, it has to first be in yourself. You have to have the faith within yourself for no good reason. You don't need a reason. For no good reason, you have to believe in yourself. You cannot live this life without believing in yourself. Like, there is literally, you are
Mm,
your own anchor. You just cannot expect life to be good to you, for you to see shifts, changes, anything. You cannot move in life without believing in yourself. Like, that is a non-negotiable. So if you don't believe in yourself, begin from there and see things shift. Because faith begins with having it first in yourself. You have faith in yourself, you will start having faith in everybody else around you. You will start believing that, oh, like, okay, the world wants to see me grow, the world is rooting for me, oh, universe wants to me to, the universe is conspiring, it wants me to grow. You need to
mm,
find yourself special. You need to
mm-hmm.
find yourself unique. You need to find yourself, you are worth it. Like, for no reason. You don't need a reason. You exist, and that is a reason good enough. And I feel like that is how I restored my faith, I
Oh,
feel, last year.
well, yeah. Um, while generally with the healing process that you apply with various clients, do you want to just walk us through maybe, what's the healing process for you when maybe a person comes to you? Like, is it separate for tarot and then also Dharma coaching, or you have something where, everything is comes together in one place? How does that work?
So, I don't know if I would call myself a healer because I don't feel like I have tapped into that part of me yet or fully. Though yes, like everything is healing in its own way. But basically, my biggest tools are tarot,
Mm-hmm.
and my biggest healing tool is shadow work,
Hmm.
reflection, introspection, anything that you want in life, anything. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to even move from point A to B, you cannot do that without introspecting.
Hmm.
Sometimes you will have moved from point A to D, and now you want to move to E, but then you cannot because you have not done the inner work from A to D. You have to do
Hmm.
introspection, you have to do reflection, you have to do inner work, and that comes from shadow work. And
Hmm.
I have seen tarot. So what I do is I walk my clients through different practices. I walk them through tarot. I walk them through coaching, nervous system coaching. I walk them through EFT,
Mm-hmm.
visualization, mirror work. Visualization is one of the biggest things for me. Like I have manifested moving out. So I right now I'm in Mumbai, and for 2.5 years I was living in Goa. I literally manifested Goa only by visualizing it in my head strongly that
Wow.
I was in Goa. It just happened, and at that point I had no money in my bank account. I really had like 2,500 or 3,000 rupees in my bank account, and I just wanted to move out. I was like, I don't want to be in Mumbai right now because I was just feeling so shut down. I was feeling so numb where I was living because COVID had just passed away, and restrictions were getting lifted up. So you could travel, intercity travel was allowed, and being locked inside the four walls for like so many months, I just realized I wanted to be in nature more and I just wanted to explore. I was 21 that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I want to go out, I want to go out. I literally manifested Goa, and I just wanted to go to Goa because I love beaches and I knew that Goa would give me a very holistic environment and which benefited me later on. I really visualized being in Goa so much. I got an opportunity, which actually was I got an opportunity to be a hostess at
Mm-hmm.
a hostel, and I got free stay, free food in exchange of service. And I was like, okay, I'm coming. And then it just happened within 3 weeks. Like I was like, okay, I just want to go,
Wow.
and it just happened. So
Payal,
I
tell
feel
us
like
more about
visualization.
how you visualize. I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in knowing.
Yeah,
So
I'll
was
just
it
walk you through that.
pictures? Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
So I feel so my I feel like so my gift is inner vision. Like I have
Mm,
a very strong inner vision and very vivid. Like I can really shift my life through visualizing. I don't do it enough. I should do it more enough. But I feel like when I really have a very strong desire, like if I have made my mind for something very specific. For example, like I said, I wanted to go to Goa. I
mm-hmm.
was frustrated being where I was. So I feel like for visualization, you need two things. You need a very strong desire, and you need to feel like there should be this burning desire within you.
Mm,
That is what it was for me. That is why, because then you don't have to do it every day. You can just do it few times and it works for you. Let's say if you're someone who
mm,
is consistent with your practice, then you might not need that burning desire. You can just do it every day. What I did was I actually visualized myself being by the beach, and there are like plants. At that point, I just wanted to be covered in nature, like covered in leaves. Like I just wanted plants and trees around me because I'm craving nature and I love the beach. I am a beach baby. So I
mm-hmm.
was just visualizing that I was by the beach. I am lying down on grass. There are trees. I am smelling the grass, like remembering the smell of the grass. I could see a butterfly flying around me. I could see that, the trees, like the wind, the breeze, and the leaves are, going with the wind. And then I think it's all about the details, these small
Mm-hmm.
details. And one of the biggest things was actually interacting while visualizing. So I would have conversations with people in visual when I was visualizing. The key is to actually feel what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Right.
so wanted to be that I was just feeling what I was doing. Feel, and I did it like I think 4 to 5 times, and it just happened. Like I got an opportunity. I visualized that opportunity. Like I said, it was to work at a hostel. I
Mm-hmm.
googled that hostel. I saw how that hostel looked. It was like I saw the door, I saw the walls, I saw the scenery outside them. I literally visualized myself being in that place every day.
Wow.
And every day I used it 2 3 days. I did that, and I got selected. There were 185 applicants. I was the one who got selected. I had no experience being a hostess. I had never done hotel management before. I had
Mm-hmm.
no idea about guests, how to handle, how to deal with guests, how to do bookings, anything related to hotel management, food, nothing. Zero experience. And that was the funny thing. I got
Wow.
selected for it when I think people who had experience, they could not do it. So I feel like you have to be
Mm-hmm.
really have that burning desire, because at that time I was so frustrated, and I feel like my frustration was my motivation. Like I have to get out of this house. I have to get out of this place. I have to go somewhere. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it is the biggest. It is. I mean, like if you can visualize stuff, if you can see a vision. There's this one saying that I had read somewhere that uh, lack of vision is the enemy of faith. You have
Mm.
to have a vision. You
Yeah.
have to be willing to see, like how far can you see, and you have to be able to hold it strongly in your head. Like paint
Mm-hmm.
pictures, create stories. Like that's what I said. Like it again goes back to one of the gifts I think we all carry. Like when we were children, we had this vivid, wild imagination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also to increase the power of your visualization, another beautiful thing is to watch animated movies. That is my favorite thing to do.
Mm.
Growing up, I used to love watching Disney and Pixar movies. I still do that whenever I
Yeah.
get a time. If I really want to watch something lighthearted, I would watch. Like I have watched so, like now I don't watch as many, but like when I was a teenager and when I was in school, I used to watch so many, so many animated movies. And even today, like I feel like it's not just for kids. They hold such
Yeah.
wisdom, and they're for everyone. And that just keeps the imagination going. Like I don't know, for a very long time. Like I feel like last month I watched that movie Alice in Wonderland, the first version, the animated version. I had not watched it my whole life, but I knew it was a big thing. I watched that movie and I was flipped out of my mind. Like it was such a trippy children's movie. I became a fan of that movie. And I feel like these are the things that, that invite
Mm.
you to be in your fun essence, childlikeness, fun, play. Because when you want to manifest things, you don't want to be straining them. It doesn't have to be hard. You cannot
Mm.
manifest stuff if it's hard, if it's like a task. For me, visualizing was fun. Just imagine
Mm.
myself, like daydream. Actually, visualization is actually daydreaming. Be delusional as you can be. Like, the fool in tarot. Be as delusional
Yeah.
as you can be, and just visualize stuff, like have fun, think about it, daydream about it, see it
Mm.
happen, feel what you're thinking about, feel what you're seeing, and be really sure that you want it. And I feel
Yeah.
like if you want it, one thing is that you want it, and second thing is also if universe is meeting you halfway. So no matter how
Mm-hmm.
much we try, but if it is not the timing, if the universe does not support the timing, then it does not support the timing. Then you also know when to, that I have done my part. Now I leave it. I surrender. Now let
Mm-hmm.
universe come halfway and do it for me. So I think it goes
Yeah.
both ways. But yes, like every person can just take a minute every day to close their eyes and just visualize stuff. You don't have to visualize anything specific, but just see what images come to your head, any storyboarding is happening, storytelling, cartoons, visuals, very, very powerful.
So then, with this process, Payal, do you feel like when you work with clients, are they able to envision the results that they're coming, seeking when they approach you in that sense? Or do you feel like, is it in like is it an easy or a difficult process dealing with clients when they come with specific like results that they're looking for? Does that even happen? Like, do you work with
Hmm.
people in that sense?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I have seen that, like people who are really ready to do the work on their own
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, and who feel that I am a sovereign being and not a victimized being. It's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
People who are stuck in their victim stories, like this thing happened to me, and that is why this is how I am. And when they are so stuck in the, because after a point the drama keeps feeding, you keep feeding off
Yeah.
the drama keeps feeding off you,
Mm-hmm.
we can get attached, and that becomes our identity, and because that becomes so familiar, we don't want to come out of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most of the times what happens is that some clients who come, they just want some, and that keeps happening because you have not gotten a channel and outlet to push it out of your system. You had no one to listen to you. You just really want to be heard and seen for what happened to you. And then
Mm-hmm.
maybe you are ready to now be a sovereign being. So I have seen that people who are still stuck in their victim stories, they don't quite get what they want because they actually want a savior. They
Mm-hmm.
want the coach or the therapist to save them rather than them doing the work to save themselves. I've seen, yes,
Mm-hmm.
with such clients, it has been difficult. Like it's almost like, they are even coming towards this conclusion. They're coming towards this breakthrough,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't want to cross over the bridge because they still
Right.
want to be stuck in that story. They don't want to. And that's absolutely okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that because they're not ready yet. So with
So
such
then are
clients,
they
it does happen.
so
Yeah.
are they addicted to suffering? Like how, or like, can everyone who comes to you, can they be helped? Or do you feel like, there are different layers to where people are in their journey?
Yeah, so definitely, yes, people can be addicted to suffering. There was a point I was addicted to chaos, to suffering, to toxicity. Like no matter how much I tried to separate myself for it, I would always come into it. Like I feel like
Mm,
2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5 years, big patch of my life. Like I was just going in circles and patterns and patterns and patterns. So yes, it's very much possible. It is, again, like I feel like everybody can be helped, but then I cannot help everyone.
right.
Every person can be helped. Every person has someone who can help them, but I am not that one to help everyone. Like every person, we cannot help everyone, but we can
Mm,
help those people who are supposed to get helped or healed by us. That is
mm,
100% true. But no, I cannot. So if I want to change the world, basically, I cannot change the whole world, but I can change a few set of people. But they will get
mm,
changed only by me. They will not get changed by
mm,
anybody else. They need my
mm,
medicine and my medicine only. When they work with me, their medicine gets activated and then they pass it forward. So
yeah.
yes, definitely everybody can be helped, and I feel every person has their own specific healer or their own specific
Mm,
coach or guru or whatever they want to call, mentor, whatever they want to call. Everybody has their different levels of expertise.
mm,
Definitely, like I definitely cannot help people with a lot of who go through depression. I have not I have not been an expert in that, but I can really help people find their sense of identity because that is something I went through. I went
mm,
through this lack of sense of self. I went through a full phase where I was unseen and unheard, and I specialize in helping people feel seen and heard and being able to seen for their creativity, their sense of
right.
identity, reclaiming who they are, finding who am I, what am I doing here. So every person has their expertise. So not everybody can help. Like no, I don't help everyone, but definitely everybody can be helped at different stages. They just need to find the right. person to go to. And I feel like that
Yeah.
also happens with time when it's said that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, do you believe in the fact that in order to move at a certain level, like spiritually speaking, a person does need a guru or like a coach or a mentor? Or do you feel like,
Yeah, definitely. For a very long time, I had this do it myself attitude. I will learn on my own. I will learn on my own. I will do this thing on my own. And that came from this hyper independent side because from childhood I had to do a lot of things on my own. So
mm,
I grew up with this mentality that I am on my own and I don't need anybody's support. Like I can do it. I can do it. Like that
yeah,
is my um first reaction to everything. I can do it on my own. But yes, definitely. Definitely you need a
mm,
mentor, a coach, a guru, a guide. Because
mm-hmm,
all the knowledge that we get in this world, one thing is that we get indigenous knowledge. That is knowledge we are born with. We know things, our intuition tells us. We have the power of downloading and channeling answers. But we do need a mentor, a coach to see us, awaken that, power within us to guide us and to also be able, who helps us channelize this gift. I can
yeah,
have all the gifts in the world, but what's the point if I cannot channelize it into the right direction? If I cannot execute it?
exactly. Mm-hmm,
Like I have this, like let's say I have this artistic gift of being an amazing painter, but what's the point if I cannot actually, like, I want to do amazing stuff. I want to sell art. I want to design my own clothes, to make my own jewelry. But what's the point if I cannot establish a full-fledged working art shop where I'm not
yep,
actually selling stuff? So I cannot just keep hoarding stuff. So definitely a coach, guru. And if you are a person who wants to transform yourself, if you are a person who is always hungry for transformation, who is always looking to better themselves, to grow, who has a growth mindset, if you are that person, you need a coach. You need a coach. You need a guru. You need a mentor. You
mm-hmm,
need someone. You cannot just do it because we are a part of the community.
yes,
We are not apart from community, we're a part of a community, and we
yeah,
thrive when we are in social construct because we are social animals, because as humans
mm-hmm,
we need touch, we need feeling, we need to be hugged, we need to be loved, we need to be seen by our peers, whether it's online, whether it's offline. That is when the most growth happens, like when we are in a circle. So yes, it's so important to be seen, to be understood, to be motivated by someone, by someone who is more expert than we are, who is our mentor, who is like a teacher. It's so important, and I feel like ever since I had my own coach and I had my when I not even coach, let's say even before that, when I started investing in learning,
mm-hmm,
uh in learning about coaching, uh, soul purpose coaching, like I invested in so many certifications and courses. Like 2023 was a year of learning.
mm,
Like feminine, like I worked with womb healing, feminine learning, like all the studies that I did, that has brought me here. So I invested so much, and that is literally paying off. Like now I feel so, I am so much clear. I feel so confident because we all, like, everybody is passing information to everyone. Like we are all codes and we are all in one circuit of this consciousness. So it's so important. It's definitely, you need
Payal,
somebody after a point.
yeah, you just reminded me. I read up, I think it's on your website also about feminine energy and tantra. So do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like what aspects do you work on there? And do you work with people also, or is it just for your own self?
So basically the tantra is all about breath, sound, and movement. Tantra is all about the union of masculine and feminine. Now this can be about anything. It can literally be humans, a man and a woman coming together, or the masculine within me and the feminine within me coming together.
Mm,
So it's about the two polarities coming together. That is Tantra. Yeah.
right.
And Tantra is all about totality, living life in totality. If, let's say,
Mm.
if I am feeling pain, so what happens is that why people cannot heal from their traumas or their pain is because they do not let themselves feel fully. Let's say this emotion came to me. I got this immense pain, like I got my heart broken from a breakup, and that pain, I was about to cry, I stopped myself. I suppressed it.
Mm.
It could not pass through me. Emotion, energy in motion. Emotions are meant to be passed. It's a cycle. Then that is when they complete the circuit. What Tantra allows us to do is through the help of breath, movement, and sound, it actually allows us to pass all these stuck emotions in our body. So that is what I learned. So Mohini Shrishti is one of my mentors. When I was in Goa, I had attended a lot of her retreats, amazing retreats, where the first retreat that I had attended, and it was the best one for me. It was her Wonder Woman Festival. It was an all women's healing circle, and that circle activated the feminine within me. Like I realized I was living in such a masculine state, and
Mm.
I was, just trying to defend and protect myself all the time. Like my guards were so up, and it helped me put my guards down. It helped me see through so much. And basically, even in my work, when I'm coaching my clients, we do a lot of somatic work. That is, we use breath, sound, and movement. Even when we are doing online one-on-one, it's just allowing yourself to feel things and
Mm.
integrating shadow work. So that is, yes, that is what Tantra is in very layman term. It is the divine union between your masculine and feminine. It's a weaving of two. That is what Tantra is.
Perfect. Mm. And then also, Payal, in the work that we do generally, right? It's very energy intensive, obviously. So self-care is very important. We do see a lot of people burning out all the time. So, do you want to talk a little bit about maybe some protection rituals or ceremonies that you have for your own self to protect your energy when you're doing this work, and
Yeah.
that people can also probably do? Yeah.
Yes. So definitely I do because I do a lot of my the main kind of energy work that I do is tarot and coaching, talking
Mm,
to people. Uh,
mm,
Before any session that I host, I always first just visualize that I am detached to this person. I observe, I am empathetic to whatever my client is saying, whatever my students are saying, but I am detached to the energy. Like they are separate, I am separate. So I actually visualize myself in a particular bubble and them in a particular
mm,
bubble. We are both separated, but we are facing each other and yet connected. That is one thing that I do before starting any session. I also wear I still have this, I think, crystal. I have this obsidian with me.
mm-hmm.
So I carry crystals. I have selenite. I have all black colored crystals. I wear them, crystal bracelet. Also, one thing that I do is cleansing, energy cleansing, that is with sage or incense sticks. I actually love incense sticks. So I will just cleanse myself
Yeah.
with that. And sometimes I also feel like if the energy is so heavy and I'm feeling so low,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it just so happens that, it's just not the energy that you have to put from your clients or the energy exchange, but it also that sometimes outside influences can hurt you, like evil eye, nazar. It's a very normal thing for people to happen and stuff. I I just do this one thing is that I actually take this auric white thread and I tie it like this 7 times for 7 chakras. Like I am protected.
Mm,
And if you have a protection mantra, then you can just do that mantra as well. So some people generally prefer to recite Hanuman mantra because he is
mm,
a protector. That is what I do.
mm-hmm.
And just sometimes
Mm,
visualizing, white light protecting you, a purple light protecting you also works a lot. So definitely
yeah.
protection
Yeah.
is a must, especially before doing a session, after doing a session. Also, cleanliness in your surroundings. Like for me, I am someone who can make my room messy within minutes because
Mm,
the energy within, if it's very chaotic, if it's scattered, like for me, I tend to live a lot in my head. Like my
Right.
third eye and my crown chakra is always active. Like I'm always downloading, channeling ideas, like something. It's overactive. Like I really need to ground myself a lot. That is something that
Hmm.
is my weakness, being in my head, my strength and weakness both, and I have to ground myself a lot. And I can find my
Hmm.
surroundings becoming very quickly messy. And you really need to, like brush off the energy from your surroundings time to time. Like you need to change your bed sheet, bed cover, shift
Hmm.
the things in your house. Like if you have a bowl over here, if you have a crystal paste over here, shift the position of the crystal. Like get the energy in
Hmm.
the room circulating. Even that cleansing is so important. Like every week, I find
Interesting.
myself cleansing my closet because even that gets messy. But all of those are
Hmm.
signs of like, energy getting quickly circulated, like being pushed
Mm-hmm.
out. Like energy is quick in my room. Like
Wow.
the energy has a time being, like it came, it quickly got, like that energy quickly got dense and old. So it's time for it to go out, like renewal. So that's why
Yeah.
it's all dense and, everything is messy. So it's time to clean it and let the fresh energy come in. So I feel like
Yeah.
that is how I see it. So yes, definitely very important.
And then, Payal, how important, you just said energy exchange, so that just reminded me how important it is, to have that, relationship with clients. So how important is that for our own, well-being and to function and be able to, serve others as well? So how important is energy exchange for you in your practice?
Very much, very much. When I began doing energy work, I literally used to charge peanuts, and that costed me. Actually, it actually
Yeah.
uh, you can actually see the effect right on your health.
Mm.
I literally used to be so exhausted and drained. Like I used to give 100%, but the energy
Mm.
exchange was really so less. And I used to be so drained. I used to feel so unhealthy, so sick. I used to fall sick. Like after a full day of work, I used to find myself on bed. Like I had to lay down on bed for like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. My back used to hurt from saying,
Mm-hmm.
like sitting up straight and serving my client. And that's
Mm.
why that energy exchange is so important to have an equal, like, proper amount of energy exchange. And the second thing is that if I am not keeping that energy flowing, the circuit flowing, I am also, I will not, also not be able to be of full service to anyone.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I am being given, I can also show up fully being myself. I can
Mm.
give you more because I feel like as energy workers, we every energy worker tends to over deliver. Like we can never be like,
Mm.
like maybe we are doing a session and then, oh, like time is okay, fine. We just never can leave it over there. We have to finish what we are doing. Yeah, that comes from
Mm.
our
Mm.
ethics, it comes from our service, that just comes from our morality, and it just comes from our open
Mm.
heart. Like we are here to, after all, we are just here to help and heal, and we are doing it with an open heart, just be there for the community. And I feel like when the energy exchange is correct, it's fair. When you feel like,
Mm-hmm.
that it is fair amount, like I feel like my heart is actually expanded. I'm not doing it when I'm
Yeah.
contracted. Like that is one of the
Mm-hmm.
like ways to actually gauge if this price or whatever exchange you have is the right one for you or not. When you think about in your body and your body whether it is getting expansive or whether you feel contracted. That is my way of
Contract.
gauging. When I do
Mm-hmm.
this, for example, if I'm charging 5,500 for one session, is my body, how does my body feel? Like 55,000 one session, 1 hour with this client, this topic. Is it like expanding or is it just contracting? That is my way of just checking in with my body.
Mm.
And when I feel expanded, I over deliver. I give my client the best results. I can fully show up in service. And I am
Mm.
here to be of service. I really want to help. I really want to solve problems. I really want to give people solutions. I really want to guide and lead and teach people. So that allows me to be myself. That allows
Mm-hmm.
the client to heal themselves. Only when they
Yeah.
invest in me, I get to invest in them. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's a vice versa
Yes.
situation. So definitely.
Yeah, that's a brilliant point, and I feel like a lot of healers, or at least people, who've just started, they struggle a lot with this whole process, and just to be able to maintain that boundary. And I guess with time, people do learn, and sometimes, like you
So
said, it
that
does affect your health. Yeah.
that comes with a lot of shame around money,
Hmm.
because money is such a sensitive
Yeah.
and emotional topic. And the biggest shame comes because when we say healing and people automatically assume, oh, you're a healer, you are healing and you're doing energy work. How can you charge so much of money? And then some people will have stories like, this person, they are just extorting money in the name of healing. They call themselves some kind of Baba, some kind of guru. It's because of the kind of
Yeah.
stories we have heard around ourselves. It's kind of the stories we may have lived in the past when we may have been cheated. So for us, it becomes a centric that okay,
Hmm.
every other person is out here to cheat me. And because um healing is again a field, unless the client has experiences for themselves, they really cannot ever gauge, because it's not a product, it's a service. It's like get to
Hmm.
see how
Hmm.
it is. It's a service. Only when you experience it, when you have experienced it, you can know that, oh, like this was worth it. So I feel
Right.
like there's so much of shame regarding to that. And at what used to happen in the ancient times was that all these villages, we had these gurus and we had these monks who used to actually come and heal us. We had these shamans, and the villagers used to take care of their food, their clothing, their shelter, everything. Like they used to give dakshina. Times have
Hmm.
changed.
Hmm.
Nobody is going to pay my bills. Nobody is going to give me food,
Yeah.
shelter. Nobody is going to give me clothing. Nobody is going to give me the money to go out and eat in a restaurant. Nobody's going to give me the money to pay my medical bills. And that's why we need to charge for
Right.
what we need to charge, because charging for what you are giving out is not, it's not nothing wrong about that. It's you're
Hmm.
right. In today's world, that is how energy exchange works. Like barter system has gone. The days when
Hmm.
like we used to get dakshinas in villages, that has gone. Like as time has evolved, we have new age spiritualists, we have new age healers every day. Like there are people who are born with these gifts. Like I know this one person who has the ability to channel spirit, and she writes letters and then
Hmm.
she posts letters. Like I got a letter from her. Like she lives in the US, I live in India, and she channeled messages from the spirit, and then she wrote a letter from the spirit to me, and she sent it to me in India. Like, really, people have
Wow.
gifts we don't have any idea about. Like, it's crazy, but
Hmm.
that is how it is. And definitely, if you don't charge for it, you are not going to sustain what you're doing. You're going to be burnt
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You're going to fall
Yeah.
sick. So sick.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Those are golden words, Payal. Yeah, and I think a lot of our healers and light workers need to know that, because, like you said, there is so much shame around it that people don't even want
Yeah.
to like discuss or get to, talk more about. Yeah, maybe you should come back again, and we'll probably just have the whole discussion around energy work. Yeah. Now, just moving to the last segment, Payal. Uh, do you want to tell us about like who Payal is, apart from like the healing work or the energy work? What else does she do, and what else inspires you and motivates you in life?
Mm. It's a nice question. I love it. I think apart from the energy work that I do, or apart from being a healer, I feel I'm someone who is, very cheeky and who is very childlike. Like I feel like that is something I really enjoy being, and I really want to instill. I hope I can instill and influence on people is to be more childlike, like have more fun in life.
Hmm.
I feel like as we grow old, we just forget to have fun. Like as children, we used to have fun for no reason. Like as kids, we could, we could laugh at anything. We could just laugh at anything. We could keep ourselves busy with things like
Right.
with a drawing book, with a coloring book, with our toys for days and days. And I feel like a part of me is really, like fully embodied, just being this childlike person, being in fun, having fun and pleasure, like because that is what life is about, to be honest. This is
Yeah.
what I have come to. This is the conclusion I have come to, is that this whole universe, it's just a game, it's a Leela, and we are just here to have fun. That's it. And the sooner we know, the easier it will be for us. I feel like the job for all of us
Mm-hmm.
is to just overcome our obstacles, overcome our struggles, come to a state where we can just enjoy and have fun, be childlike. So I feel like that is one of the truest part of me, to be childlike. And I feel like the other part of me is the one that likes to balance it out is with uh wisdom and knowledge. Like I am someone who loves to learn a lot of things. Like I love to learn, and I like to share it with people. Like I want people to know. I want people to know about the world.
Mm.
I want people to know about the spiritual realm. I want people to know about healing. I want people to know about art. I want people to be creative. Like I really want people to live their highest expression, because like I said, like every person is born with anomaly of gifts, like combinations. And like even when we cannot witness it in one person, it's we just lost an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like Earth is the heaven, like it's miraculously built, the system, like how self-sustaining planet Earth is, and all the beings in Earth are. It's self-sustaining, and everything is a miracle. Everything is made in such a mechanism that it's self-sustaining, self-replenishing. And
Mm.
every person is a code on this planet Earth. Like every person who is born is a code. And when even one code gets shut down because of trauma, because of pain, because of being misunderstood, we actually lose an opportunity to see the glory they could have created, to see the legacy they could have, like so much potential. When I see children, when I see a newborn baby, what I see is potential, so much potential. Like you could really, like if you were really a passionate parent, you could really do things. Like there is something, another thing that I'm so passionate about is, raising children. Like I feel like if you actually want to be a good parent, then you really must be passionate about raising children. Like they are literally clean slates, and they are born with these gifts, and it's just connected to the universe, to the source, to our ancestors. Like all this thing, itself is such a mystery and so mystical, and so amusing. Like why not? Why don't you want to delve into these topics? So I feel like these are the parts of me that always keep coming out of me, and I feel like I just want to share it with the world, let the world
Mm-hmm.
know about it. I want everybody to know about things, learn about things. Like I'm so excited about all the things that I do. I do art. I want people to do art. I do tarot. I want people to do tarot, because all these things that excite me, they light me up, and I'm like, okay, I just want to spread the light in everyone. Like everybody gets to, like we all get to taste it. Like no matter how difficult it is, it's true that some of us are privileged and some of us are not. And I feel like the ones who are privileged, we get to be grateful, and we get to help those who are not. We get to make the life of others better. And
Mm.
those who are not privileged, they get to. We all have the opportunity to mine our path. We do get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We do get to do that with trust, with community, with social interaction,
Yeah.
with love. We get to do that. So I feel like we are all here just one big community, the whole earth, everyone. We are all here, one big community, and we are just here to light each other up. And I feel like that is what lights me up. That is
Mm-hmm.
how I get to be alive.
Wow. And then Payal, the last question, just to bring more, hope and stories of miracles. Do you want to share maybe stories of clients over the years that you've worked with, where you've seen tremendous transformations, or like some stories that were totally miraculous, which even you couldn't believe happened?
So, I have had this. Um, I have two stories. Actually, one story is not of transformation. It's just one of the most. This star reading, I think I'm just going to remember till I die, kind of a thing. And in transformation, I have seen the second one. I will get back to the first one, but the second one, I have seen transformations where, because being a tarot reader, like a lot of things that people want to know as future predictions,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes me really happy. But I am also a reader who does not delve a lot into future predictions, because I believe tarot is more for present tense and guidance. It's
Mm-hmm.
more to do the shadow work, guide yourself in the present moment. It's a tool for reflection. But of course, you can use it for fortune telling as well. And I have had clients where I could see a client that, they would not be in a relationship in the next 2 months. And that client was in a relationship for a very long time. And I could see that the ending was coming. And I predicted that. And it so happened that she came back to meet me in Goa and just tell me that it just happened. Like what you told me, it happened. And then there was this another instance where I had a client who had told me that, like, I am looking for like my life partner, but I cannot find one. And I could see that she would meet her life partner through some official projects, through some project at her job. 2 3 weeks from now, she's going to meet that person. She's going to fall in love with that person. She's going to marry that person. A year back, she came back telling me that's exactly how it happened. That she met the person through an official project. She met that person over there, and then like they are good to go. And then I have had transformation story where there was this one person like who was dealing with a lot of anxiety and body shaming. Like she had difficulty being in her own skin. She had a lot of shame around her skin and how she looked, and she was never accepted for the way she looked. And she was also someone who used to get shamed out in public. Like people used to come to her, like strangers used to come to her and talk to her about her skin, used to shame her skin. And she really used to, live in this so much of pain, and like she used to hide herself. And she was this amazing baker and artist, and she was so stuck not knowing, like, how to move forward. Like I also
Mm-hmm.
love doing art, I also love to do bakery, but then I feel like I'm so stuck by my situations. And we really had this moving session on loving ourselves and our skin and our body. She had such a breakthrough. She did not only start her own bakery. I saw her going out and putting out art stalls, food stalls, bakery stalls. People are coming and buying food from her. But she loved her skin. She started loving her skin so much that anytime people used to come and talk to her, it didn't used to affect her anymore. She was like, I feel sad for them that they think like that when I am comfortable in my own skin. And for me, that was such a victory that happened. Like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, that is transformation in real time. Another time, there was this one situation where this person who I know, they used to have so much of anxiety. They used to deal with chronic anxiety, and doing tarot practices and rituals, they could feel like their anxiety was just going away. Like they healed a lot of their anxiety with just tarot and rituals and practices. That is
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that happened. But the other story that I want to share, this was, I feel like that story just gives me goosebumps every time. This one time, so I used to, when I was in Goa, I used to do tarot in a cafe called Arjuna. It's a very famous cafe in Goa. Like everybody who comes to Goa, they visit that cafe for sure. It's in Arjuna, the name of the cafe. And what I used to have is I used to have walk-in clients, like people who used to come to the cafe. They used to see me and like, can I get a session with you? Like, yes, you can come. Like, you can have a seat over here. There was this one person, this one girl, with whom I was yeah, so with whom I was doing this tarot session, and we began with her career, and I could see that she had this amazing career thingy going on. And then her second question was that, like, I want to know, and it was very absurd for me. So her question was like, I want to know whether my mother is alive. And if my mother is alive, then I want to go out and find her. And because she did not give me any details, I knew it would, like, she didn't want to share the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So we began uh, the reading, and I was actually also very nervous about that reading, because I was like, this is such a tricky question, like whether my mother is alive or not. So I told her that, like, I'll do this reading for you, but please don't just take it at face value. Don't take it personally. I don't know like how will this work out, because nobody has ever asked me such a question, like whether my mom is alive. And I got the first card out, and that was the Queen of Pentacles. And at that very moment, I realized her mother is there no more. So I told her, like, I don't see your mother here, but I do see your mother being very, very proud of you. Like, she is literally looking at you from the heavens, and she's also kind of blessing you. Like, she is your biggest spirit angel. Like, she's literally your spirit guide. She's actually working day, night to just like support you on your journey. And the moment I told her that, tears came out of her eyes, and then I shuffled the card, and the second card that came out was death. And when the death came out, it was a confirmation that her mother is there no more. And she started crying, and then I got full body goosebumps. It really was like her mom is there. And then she kind of confirmed that after her mom left, her life changed 360 degrees. Like, she began a business that got boomed at such an early age. Like, she is making so much of money, like, which is so unexpected for people her age. Like, she was very young. She was, I think, 18 or 19 or 20. I don't remember quite right. And when her mother passed away, her life just changed 360 degree. And her mother had passed away from the Uttarakhand floods that we had in
Mm,
India. So
mm,
she lost all her family in that flood. She only has
mm,
one or two members left, and they could not find her mother's body. So that's why she always questions. So she was like, everywhere I go, I ask all the pundits, all the astrologers, every person I meet that, like, is my mother alive? Is my mother alive? If she's alive, I still want to look for her. I still want to find her out, but nobody can give me an answer. And I feel like today I got my answer. I
mm.
don't think that I will ask this question again. And also that she is with me. So that was one of the most powerful sessions I ever had. And
Wow.
I just remember like that moment she was crying. I had goosebumps. I had teary eyes, and we both were like so stunned. We could not talk for like 5 minutes. We were just looking at each other, absorbing what just happened. It was crazy. Like,
Wow.
I mean, the spirit can just come through in any way at any
Mm.
time. Like, it's really, really crazy.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much, Payal. I think we just went through so much information, and I'm sure everybody learned a lot. And I hope you had a good experience on this podcast, and you'll come back with maybe another topic.
Thank you so, Anisha.
Yeah,
Definitely. I really, really, really feel so honored. I really feel so good to be here. Like, love this. And thank you so much for
yeah,
inviting me. Uh, it was unexpected. Like, you messaged me, and I was like, okay, yeah, like, I just want to do it. Why not? Like, it's fun. So thank you so much.
yeah.
I enjoyed being here.
Thank you.
And I
And
really wish
Payal,
you
one
all the best
last
with your podcast. Like, I
thank
really
you.
want to see more people coming. You're doing your thing. Yes.
Yeah. And if people want to get in touch with you, Payal, how can they do that? I mean, I'm going to put the links in the show notes, but like just if with you, what's the best way?
The best way to get in touch with me is my Instagram is at the rate PAYALKUNDU Payal Kundu. You come there, you find me. I think it will be a treat to your eyes because I put a lot of art out there. So you can find my art. If you want a tarot reading, you can come for tarot reading. I host tarot courses. Like, I help people become tarot coaches. So you can sign up to become a tarot coach with me. I do one-on-one coaching, soul purpose coaching, coaching on money stories. Like, I really have so many offers. And actually right now brewing so many offers, and I'm so excited. I think all my most of my offers are going to be out in May and June, and I'm just creating my own set of tarot cards, oracle decks, journals. Like,
Oh,
there's so much in store. Like, some projects are very long-term projects which will take me 1.5 years, 2 years to finish. Some I'm just doing right now, and I'm so excited for everyone to witness it, to have a taste of it. So yes, definitely. And Instagram is a place. I am
perfect.
so active on Instagram, so that's where you can find it.
Perfect. Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much.
much, Payal, and thank you, everyone. I will be back with another episode soon. Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.